Hello, I'm Natasha Tracy, and this is Breaking Bipolar. When I was young, my father used to tell me, consider the source. Consider the source where you're getting your information. How reliable is it? How accurate is it? What he was trying to tell me was to question the information that I was given and not simply accept it as fact just because I read or I heard it somewhere. Never has this been more critical than on the internet. On the internet, information comes from a variety of sources, and those sources range from incredibly accurate to completely off the deep end with absolutely nothing of any relevance to say. And it can be difficult to tell the difference between those two things, particularly in instances where there's a conflict of interest between an advertiser and content being created. Sometimes an advertiser creates content, sometimes an advertiser shapes content, and you may not realize that the content you're reading has actually been produced in that way. So when you do read content, it's important to think about where it's coming from. I look for a very clear advertising policy that states that advertisers have no right to dictate content, to edit content, or to create content, or to remove content. That advertising and content creation are completely separate from each other. That all ads are marked clearly as ads. I also look for an explicit editorial policy that says that no content will ever be edited based on an advertiser's desire. It will never be removed, it will never be updated. These things are really critical when it comes to judging the veracity of a website. Another thing to look for is the OnCode symbol. I've mentioned it before, and you see it at the bottom of Healthy Place and other websites. OnCode is a symbol given by an independent body which evaluates websites based on several criteria, but specifically they're looking for accuracy and reliability and independence of health-related information. The OnCode isn't perfect, but in my experience, it does a really good job of pointing out what the independent sources of information is. As for my own part, I now have a conflict of information page up on my personal blog. The only conflict I have is being paid by Healthy Place in order to provide this video and the blog that I write for them. However, they do not dictate content, they do not edit content. They have never asked me to put content up, they have never asked me to take content down. They have absolutely no impact on what I say or how I say it. Personally, I finance my own personal blog independently. It is not run by anyone, it is not sponsored by anyone, it is paid for explicitly by me. So that's my personal conflict of interest statement. Hopefully that clears up any questions that people may have. I'm Natasha Tracy, and this is Breaking Bipolar.